Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I'll continue the talk on the release dream. But before I do, I wanted to let you know that because I have a great many videos now on many different topics, that I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, today we will talk about another specific release dream theme and how to analyze them for yourself. Today, let's look at a very common release dream, the one where you are driving a car or another type of vehicle. Remember that one of the hallmarks to help you determine if your dream is a release dream or not is the fact that there is usually some very strange feature to a release dream, like a unicorn suddenly making an appearance, or a bicycle that turns into a truck, or some totally unusual situation occurring. Like houses, cars, and other vehicles are very common in dreams, and they have a variety of meanings. They can be past life memories or early memories from this life, because the primary purpose of cars is to get us from point A to point B. Dreams of being in a car can indicate a transition in our lives, and since cars are the vehicles in which our bodies travel, and our bodies are the vehicle in which our spirits travel while we're here on Earth, it's not unusual for our subconscious minds to use cars and other vehicles, much like houses, as easily recognized symbols to represent us. Cars and other vehicle dreams are very common and are often extremely powerful. We may dream about finding a car we thought we had lost, or of realizing we own a car we never knew we owned. We may dream about suddenly driving down the road in a very unusual car of a particular year or a particular color. Sometimes our dream cars are having mechanical difficulties. Sometimes we carry passengers we don't like, or passengers who cause us trouble. Or we may dream of driving recklessly or being out of control. Sometimes we dream of being afraid to test the power of a car we own. Other times we dream of driving someone else's car. We might be driving our mother's car, or the car of our employer, or the car of a friend or a lover. Many dream analysts view a car in a dream as the way the dreamer moves forward in time, how they live their psychological life. A borrowed car might illustrate that the dreamer is living in someone else's psychological or personal style rather than in their own. Other dream analysts have suggested that a car could symbolize the dreamer's body ego. The headlights could be the eyes, the motor could be the sexual organs or vital organs, the fenders, the extremities, the trunk of the car representing the back, lower bowel, rectum, or anus, and the gear shift and steering wheel could refer to the male genitals. It is important to make note of the year, the make, and the condition of the car, because this will often symbolize a particular time in the dreamer's life in which certain emotionally charged events occurred. These characteristics can suggest a mood, personality style, or a way of being in the world. In some dreams, the dreamer has a difficult time getting the car started, or finds that the tires have been slashed, or that the clutch won't engage, or that the car keeps stalling out, suggesting the dreamer's trouble getting going in life. In our first example, we have a man who dreamt that he was driving a 1970s Corvette that was extremely rare and highly over-decorated. The mirrors were very bright, and the chrome was extraordinarily shiny and exaggerated all over the car. When this man analyzed his dreams, he said that only a real show-off would drive such a car. As he continued to ask himself questions about the dream, he realized he had created a dream picture of himself and of his exaggerated need to show off and look smart. He desperately wanted to be cool because in waking life he was trying to compensate for a deep sense of inadequacy that he had carried with him since childhood. The dream helped him see that as an adult he acted a bit silly from time to time, showing off in a way that really was not very cool. In our next example, We have a woman who dreamt that she walked into her garage and discovered a beautiful red Ferrari car, the hottest, sexiest car she had ever seen. Then she realized that the car had been sitting in her garage for years and that she had never known it was there. The keys were in her hand, so she got into the car and took it for a ride. Suddenly she realized she didn't know how to work the brakes, so she slowed down and decided to take the car to a mechanic to find out how to operate them. When she analyzed the dream, she described this red Ferrari as extremely powerful, extremely agile, sexy, and extraordinarily flamboyant. She was delighted to have such a car, and she bridged the description of the car to her own sense of power and excitement in life, which she had greatly underestimated until very recently. When she asked herself to describe the brakes in the dream, she said that they were very important because you must not go fast if you don't know how to stop, or you'll kill yourself. She bridged the problem with the brakes to her own difficulty in harnessing her new energy and her sense of power, so that it would enrich her life rather than endanger her well-being by being used recklessly. In our next example, we have a woman that dreamt that she was driving through town in a battered old jalopy. She pulled into a parking lot, got out of the car, and looked back at the car for the first time, realizing how awful it looked next to all the other cars. When the woman described the car in her dream and how she felt about it, she realized she was describing her own attitude towards herself and her body. She realized she was treating herself like a jalopy. She had neglected taking care of her body. She never dressed up anymore and rarely looked at them in the mirror. This dream motivated her to join a health club, get a new wardrobe, and start thinking about herself as someone who doesn't have to go through the world looking like an old jalopy. In our next example, we have a man that dreamt that he was driving his wife's car when it broke down. He tried to fix it, but just couldn't figure out what to do. Finally, he discovered that if he fiddled around with the electrical circuitry, he could connect things up so the car would run beautifully. When he analyzed his dream, he said it was his wife's car and that the electrical connections seemed out of whack. At this point, he started to laugh at himself, and then he said, that sounds like my wife. Emotionally, she's very confusing to me. I haven't learned how to talk about feelings the way she has, and I've worried that she might leave me and that I might be stranded because I haven't been able to meet some of her emotional needs. Part of the solution is just talking about my own emotions. So in the dream, I put a lot of effort into it, and I was very happy when I was successful in making the right connections, because I really would like to have a more intimate relationship with my wife. To help you analyze your dreams about driving a car yourself, ask yourself these questions. 1. Describe the car in your dream. 2. What make and what year is that car? How is the car working in your dream? What is the feeling of driving this car? 3. How would you describe the personality of such a car? 4. Does this car remind you of any part of yourself or of anyone in your life or of any situation or feeling that is familiar to you? 5. How so? 6. Does the dream situation remind you of any current life circumstances? If so, how so? 7. Is there anything you would like to do about it all? I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.